I just got a call from Lake Genoa Golf Club here in Las Vegas. They needed an AI receptionist that could actually handle real phone calls, take bookings, and check tee times, even when the staff is busy or after hours. As a Diamond Retail Certified Partner, they trusted me with the build, so I'm sharing everything from start to finish, the actual setup in N8N, how I'm using retail and Google Sheets for the live scheduling, and every step to connect to your own voice agent. You've seen me talk a lot on voice AI on this channel, but this one's different. I'm giving away the blueprints, the N8N template, and the working Google Sheet so you can launch your own booking agent in under an hour. And at the end of this video, I'll be making a special announcement for hitting 2K members in our community. We're going to have a special guest. With that being said, let's dive in to how you can build this yourself and how you should be building demos for clients. Okay guys, so this is how I would build a demo agent for a golf course. And I thought at the same time it'd be cool to build a conversation flow agent. I typically run with either single prompt or multi-prompt agents, but for today, let's go ahead and create a conversation flow agent. So we're going to come in here, turn on block interruptions, and we'll adjust the static sentence. Okay, so there we go. We got our transition. And if we come to this golf course, I feel like there's a couple main things that we're going to have to look at, right? They've got memberships, they have banquets and weddings, they have restaurants, they have a stay and play, which is like a hotel, and then they have golf, which includes the ability to book online, and there's 2 different courses. So user wants to schedule a tee time. So these are all the different transitions, which is really, they want to schedule tee time, they have a membership inquiry, they're interested in event wedding planning, or they have a restaurant inquiry. If there's any general questions or support troubleshooting, we'll just handle it by this main welcome node. So I came up with this global state prompt, which is really composed of identity, the main purpose, when to do call transfer, the general response guidelines, and the overall call flow, which is to determine the nature of the call using this first state, and then to route accordingly and ask additional questions such as for tee time booking, which course, how many players, do they have a preferred tee time, and will they need golf carts? Okay, so let's build the user wants to schedule a tee time. Okay, so now we're going to say for tee time booking, which course do you prefer? So there's 2 different courses. How many players? Do you have a preferred tee time? Will you need golf carts? So we're going to be using a function. We're going to add a new function. It's going to be a custom function. Okay, so we're going to be checking the availability of tee times. For this, we're going to be using N8N and Google Sheets to simulate booking, since this is just a demo. So I made this sheet. It'll have the date, the party size, the course, the time, and then any cart preferences. Okay, so we're going to have to create a webhook. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to grab the production URL, drop it in here, and then the description is going to be, use this to check tee time availability. And then in the JSON schema, we're going to need to grab all of that. So I'm just going to copy this example, head to ChatGPT, paste it in, and get that extra information. I need new JSON in the following format as provided in the sample, which will include the golf course that they want to book at, how many people are in their party, what date and time they're interested in, and if they have any golf cart preferences. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to head back in here, drop it in. You can see here we have the golf course. We're using an enum, meaning it needs to be one of these 2 values, either lakes or ranch, which are the 2 golf courses, the party size, the date in this specific format, the time in 24-hour time format, and then the cart preference being either push or electric. And then we're making all of them required. Now let's go ahead and save this. Now we have this new tool right here called check availability. So now we're going to test it just to get some data in here. Okay, so our tool just fired. If we go into executions, and we copy this to the editor, you can now see we have the date, the time, the party size, the cart preference, and the golf course. So now we're going to connect this to our Google Sheets, and we're getting all of the rows from tee times from this specific sheet with the date, the course, and the time, because those are the 3 things that matter. So we can test this step because right now we don't have any information in there, 2025-07-08. And what I'm going to do is actually put in some sample data right here, just so we get data in here. And the reason for that is because after we're going to put an if statement, and we're going to say if row number exists, proceed, or we could even do if time exists, which in this case it does. Then we're going to return something, right? We're going to return that, hey, this is booked. You're going to have to go ahead and choose another time. Otherwise, if it's false, we'll go ahead and create that booking. So in this case, I would maybe add in something like Twilio, send an SMS, maybe add an email to confirm the booking, and then we'll have a webhook response saying your tea time has been successfully scheduled. And then we'll also update our Google Sheets to log that booking in the system. Now, in the case where it is true, we're going to have to respond saying, hey, these tea times are booked, but we should also return with the availability on that day. So what we're going to test here is if we change this to 15, so a different time, does it still fetch this or does it need to be an exact match? So we'll go ahead and test this step and you can see that it returns blank. So that means that we need to change this so that it outputs, or maybe add an additional step, because this is really for exact match, but we might not need an exact match. I'm building a voice agent for a golf course. I need it to check availability and then create bookings. Now, right now, it is based on the date, the course, and the tee time. So if there's an exact match, that means that that booking has already been taken. And in that case, I want it to provide other availabilities on that day. Should I add another Google Sheets read row just based on date at that point to return other available times or other book times during that day so it can suggest appropriately? How do you recommend I do this? And sometimes talking through these problems out loud will allow you to see the path forward. So for instance, I think that the way to do this would be to have another Google Sheets, have a get rows from that specific sheet, except this time we're going to be looking just at the date instead of the entirety. So if we go into here and we change this to 14, and then I'm going to copy this and make the next row 15, what I suspect will happen is, let's test this step again. Okay, so now we know that this one is taken. It'll come down here. Now in this, we're going to choose date equal to date, and we're also going to add the course. Here we go. We can test this step. And now you can see we get both entries. And then from there, I'll probably add a code node so that we can format all the incoming. And if we look, we see that they're open from 7 all the way to 5, or, just before 5. All right. So I put in this code. Course is open at 7, closes at 5. And the tee time interval is 8 minutes, and it returned with all the tee times except for, let's check 2, which is at 14, which even looking on their site, it looks like they don't have a 2 p.m. tee time. They have a 2:04 and a 1:56, and you can see that our 3 is not being displayed. Okay, guys, so I added in this code node, and the reason for this is if you look on their website for the different golf tee times, they're every 8 minutes apart. So technically there's no 2 p.m. tee off. It's either 1:56 or 2:04. And so we just added in this code node to convert the time. So now you can see 2:04. So now it matches one of those specific times. So now we could test this step, and you'll see that we're going to get nothing back. And if we were to test this step, we get a false, meaning that time does not exist. And then we're going to send a text. And so for this, I'm actually going to have to place a call so that we get the right variables through here. So I'm just going to disconnect.
Hello, welcome to Lake Genoa Golf Club. My name is Sophia, your virtual assistant. What can I help you with today?
Hey, I'm looking to book a tee time.
Great. Which course would you like to play, our Lakes course or the Ranch course?
Let's do Ranch.
Awesome. Ranch course it is. How many players will be in your group, and what date were you thinking about?
We're going to be 2 players, and it's going to be on July 9th.
No worries. What date did you have in mind for your round? And do you have a specific tee time you'd prefer, or are you flexible?
Yeah, July 9th at 2 p.m.
Got it. Perfect. So that's 2 players at the Ranch course on July 9th around 2 p.m. Will you need golf carts for your round?
Yes, we will.
Thanks for confirming. I can help you book that tee time right now, or if you'd rather, I can text you our booking link so you can choose online what works better for you.
Can you check the availability for me?
It looks like I'm not able to check the availability directly at the moment. Sorry about that. But I can either help you book over the phone and pass your info to our team.
Okay, so I had the respond to webhook set to instant, and because of that, and we had respond to webhook nodes in here, it wasn't firing properly. I'm just going to have to recall it again, and I'll delete these for now.
Hello, welcome to Lake Genoa Golf Club. My name is Sophia, your virtual assistant. What can I help you with today?
Hey, I'm looking to book my tee time.
Great. Which course would you like to play, our Lakes course or the Ranch course?
The Ranch one. We're going to be 2 people. We're looking for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Okay, so now you can see we got the data through here. If we look, 2 p.m. tomorrow, we're 2 people, Ranch course, electric carts. Okay, So now we have something in the false route. And if we go to the webhook, we'll get the from number, the to number. This is going to be your Twilio number right here. So just choose a Twilio number that's A2P verified. So this is the text that they're going to get. Your tea time has been booked, date, time, and the golf course. Thanks for booking with Genoa Lakes Golf Club. And then we'll also do the same thing by email. Or actually, we don't even have their email, so we'll just keep things simple. And then lastly, we'll update that spreadsheet with their booking time. So we'll go ahead and test this step. There we go. I just got a text saying, hey, your tea time's been booked. And then we'll go back to that time conversion sheet and we'll just grab the date, time, party size, course, and cart preference. There we go. And if we test the step, we can see that a new time has been added at 2:04. And now just thinking out loud, we also probably need a phone number if someone wants to confirm when they booked or do anything like that. So, we can add a lot more to this. So now we have access to the phone number and we'll just drag their from number that they made the reservation under. And then from there, we would want a webhook response. Change this to text and we'll say their tea time on at Okay, so now we have our correct booking time, and then the other one, it's going to come down here. So let's say we were to run this again. We could say, hey, we found a booking at 2:04. So now we can test this step and we see, hey, there's 3 bookings on this day. Now it's to format them all properly. So these are all the available times and our times are now omitted. Perfect. So now you can see that we get this suggested times after some back and forth creating this code node. It's either going to be 156 or 212. And by the way, all of this is going to be available completely for free. So you can head on over instead of me going through the entire code node. And you can just copy paste. And so now I'll have a respond to webhook node be text. And we'll say there we go. So that tea time is unavailable, but we have 156 or 212 instead. There we go. So now we have our check availability and create booking function. Okay, so now we're going to try something. Booking made successfully, or the other one is going to be that the time is unavailable, in which case we're going to loop back. But if the booking was made successfully, then we'll add another conversation node, transition here. We'll say, what else can I help you with? Or is there anything else I can help you with? Make it a static sentence. And then we can just copy these where it's user has a membership inquiry. User is interested in event wedding planning. Our user has a restaurant inquiry. Okay, so let's keep building this out. So after that, we need another webhook here, another post request. So let's build out the restaurant portion. So we'll add a conversation node, restaurant, and we're going to link user has a restaurant inquiry over here. So what I'm doing right now is just downloading the menus. Okay, so here we have the prompts, right? The identity, the main purpose, answer the phone, the different response guidelines, which location. For takeout orders, this is what we need to get. For reservations, this is what we need to get. And then the specific call flow. Okay, we'll go back to our main system prompt. Now we'll need to add a knowledge base. So we'll click add new knowledge base. Genoa Lakes Golf Club. So it has the different menu items, the pricing associated with each one. We'll go ahead, we'll download this, we'll upload that file, and then we're also going to need to create a general one, which I think for this, we can probably just add a web page, and then it'll give us the entire sitemap, and we could just add it all. So that's going to go ahead and load. Okay, so we can add that knowledge base now. If I just hit refresh, we should now see it. Okay, so we're going to make 2. First one's going to be user mentions takeout, order, pick up food items. We'll drag that to takeout. I just made a new tool. And so for that, we're going to grab our production URL here. We'll head back to retail. We'll drop that in. And then the description will be, okay, so you can see right here, what's the customer name? We need to decide on which restaurant they're going to be staying at. What's the phone number? The items that they're going to be ordering, the pickup time, and any special requests. And we make them all required. We could go ahead and update that. So that's the first one. Then the second one that we're going to create is going to be the restaurant reservation. And so we're going to need another webhook. So once again, grab the production URL, switch this to a post request, and we can just replace this here. And you can see in this one, once again, we need to know the restaurant, the customer name, the phone number, the date and time for the reservation, how many people, and any sort of special requests. We could hit save. Now we can add that one as well. And now we have our two tool calls. And then lastly, we'll have a transfer call function where the user wants to speak to a human. And we could add this to our welcome just like that. And we'll drag this to here. So now we could test this. So I said, hey, I'd like to make a dinner reservation. You could see that it was successful in transitioning to the restaurant. Great. Which like location and what date time are you thinking? So if we check this out, one of the things that happened here is we didn't get a phone number. We didn't get a customer name. All I provided was the location, date, and time, and it automatically filled the party size. So that's incorrect as well. So we're going to have to update our restaurant main state prompt to explicitly ask for that information before proceeding to the next state. We might update our transition as well. So all we've done here is we've said to explicitly ask for takeout orders and for reservations, and made it a critical rule to get this information before continuing. So now if we test this again, let's restart. Okay, so we're going to try updating our transitions here and we'll see if it helps. So users provided location, date, time, party size, name, and phone number for reservation, or they've provided this information for takeout order. So let's go ahead and test this again now. We'll see if we notice an improvement. There you go. So now it's performing better. So awesome. What date are you looking to book for? How many people? Great. Just need your name for the reservation. Kevin, what's the best phone number for your reservation? So we're going to come in here. We're just going to save this because in a second, this is going to fire. There we go. Now we get all the proper information. In here, we'll name, number, restaurant, date and time, and the party size. Okay. And we'll just keep this one really simple as it is only for a demo. And we'll copy this to editor and we will search for Google Sheets. This is going to append a row. We can just choose our new sheet table. And now we're just going to map everything. And I'm going to add in one more, which is going to be order type, which is either going to be reservation or takeout. And now we're just going to add all of those in. So if we go ahead and test this step now, you can see that we now have a dinner reservation for 2 at 5 p.m. tomorrow, which is perfect. And now we can create the exact same thing. We'll create a new sheet. This sheet is now going to be called takeout orders. And so what do we need for takeout orders? Once again, we need to know which restaurant, name and phone number, pickup time, any special requests, the food items. So all of these fields essentially, just like that. And now we can go ahead and try firing that one instead. And we'll get some data through the other endpoint. And our restaurant reservation, we can just say the transition, that the reservation was successfully booked. And we can link it up to here, back to this conversation. We're just going to ask, is there anything else I can help you with? We're going to add in this other state where the user doesn't need help with anything else, where we'll transition it to the ending of the call. And then same here, we'll say takeout order successfully placed. We'll transition it up here as well. And now let's try the takeout order. Okay, so now let's see, what would you like to order today? All right, so let's check out their menu. Get a house salad with some crispy chicken wings. Perfect. So I'd also like to get a deli sandwich. Could you let me know your choice of bread, cheese, and meat? And then we're going to go with cheddar and ham. Perfect. So now it has our full order. When would you like to pick up your order? 30 minutes. Does that work? So you can see here I was able to get our full order. Now it should transition to takeout. So now we'll head back to here. If we go to our executions, we'll see we now have this populated in this webhook. And it's going to be the same thing. We'll populate Google Sheets. We'll choose the takeout orders menu, and now we're going to need the exact same thing. So let's see how it came through. Okay, so we got the customer name, the phone number, the location, the items, which I don't know if it'll work properly because it's an array. So we might have to parse this array first, and then the pickup time. Now let's test this step. All right, awesome. And if we go to our takeout orders, we now see the items. So house salad, crispy chicken wings, deli sandwich, cheddar and ham. So we could obviously parse this and we could get the current time and then add 30 minutes to that current time. But for a demo, I think this suffices. So now let's add the last two, which user has a membership inquiry or users interested in event wedding planning. Okay, so we'll name this one membership and we'll create another one, which is going to be the event wedding planning. And then we can drag the membership inquiry here. We can drag the restaurant or the wedding planning here. And now I have this membership prompt. which is asking for full name, best phone number, email address, membership type, which course they want, the golf backgrounds, preferences, timeline. For our event wedding planning states, it's kind of similar, but we're extracting different information, which is, what kind of event, how many guests, do you have specific dates, what time frame are you looking for, do they want golf in the event, etc. And then we're going to create 2 new tools. So new function, first one is going to be save membership inquiry. We're going to need a new webhook. So we'll go ahead and do that now. We'll drop that in here. We could save this. We'll add it now and connect it. And then we're going to need the same for our event inquiry. So one more function, custom function, and we're going to need another webhook. So I'll update this webhook. We'll name this save event inquiry, and we'll use this tool to save event inquiry information. We can add that in. For the transitions for each of these, we're going to just save the membership inquiry information, save, and we'll do the same here. Event inquiry information, save, and then we'll add both of these to the is there anything else portion. Okay, so now we've added in both these transitions. So we've collected customer name, phone number, email, membership type, course preference, and same for here. So now we can go ahead and test this. So now I'm just inputting all this information. We're going to make sure that this is saved, because in a second we are going to get some new data populated in here, and then we'll update our Google Sheets with that information. So you can see right now how after I said Lakes course, it jumped straight to here without providing any specific, okay, I've just gone ahead and shared that with our team. So we're going to add in a sentence to say, which is going to be this, and then it'll transition, and then same for this, speak during execution, static sentence, and we'll put that in as well. Okay, so let's go to our executions. We'll see that this new tool has just fired. So next thing we want to do is update our Google Sheets. We'll append a row in the Google Sheets. Now this one is specifically for saving the membership inquiry. So we're going to create a new sheet here. It's going to be for membership inquiries. And then we're going to add another one, which is going to be for event inquiries. We'll choose tee times and we'll choose membership inquiries. And now we're going to need membership type, course preference, customer name, phone number, and the email. And now if we come back here and we reload the membership inquiries, we'll see that we have all of these fields. And now we can just drag these in one by one. Perfect. We could test this step. And now you can see we get this populated in this sheet, and then we'll do the exact same thing for event inquiries. Anything else I could help you with? We could say, yes, I'm interested in your events. That's exciting, Kevin. Who's the best person to contact about your event? Would that be you or someone else? It's me. Golf tournament. I'm going to be 20 people. October 2nd. So you can see it asks me a bunch of questions. Are you looking for a golf contest? Do you need our banquet or facilities? Are you thinking full dinner buffet plus cocktails? So now you can see it captured a ton of information. So it didn't fire the tool properly. So I'm going to say run save events inquiry tool after capturing all the information. So I'll try it again now. So I'm looking to plan a wedding, 100 guests. Okay, so there we go. Now it actually properly transitioned. I had to make that small change. Now if we go to here and we bring up our executions, once again, we copy this to editor. You'll see that we now have access to all of that information. So we're going to toss in one last Google Sheets. We're going to append that row in Google Sheets. It's now connected. We could choose event inquiries. Okay, so now I've just updated all the columns to match. We could refresh this. There we go. Customer name, phone number, email, event type, guest count, preferred date, and contact person. And now we can test this step. And there we go. And we can copy these respond to webhook nodes. Just attach them to each of these different states. So now we have the takeout order that was successfully placed, and we're just going to update all of them, right? So this is restaurant reservation. So restaurant reservation's been made successfully, and same for the other two. There we go. And so now all of that's been saved. We have all of the different states that are directing to the different locations. We have one that handles kind of all of the final states, and we could even add call transfer to each of these states. But this just gives you a high level overview of how you can build a really solid demo that will impress your clients. And then from there, hopefully you land them. I would say this is probably around at least 10K to implement, because there's always going to be more that's going to be added. And to build these out, a lot further than what they are right now, especially the restaurant ordering, we're going to have to connect to multiple APIs. For creating the bookings, we're going to have to connect to a different subset of APIs. There's going to be payments involved. So it becomes a lot more complex than just this, but this demo gives you a really good idea of, kind of the core structure from which you will then be able to scale from. So I hope you got value out of this. If you did, consider dropping a subscribe. And with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.